So Lafalava, it's Tim Tufuga here. It's the 16th of January 2014. I want to talk about the Australia Day debate. This is something that has occurred recently with the Aldi shop having to withdraw the Australia Day T-shirts because it had a sign that said Australia established 1788. Now that has caused some consternations amongst particular indigenous people who are very offended by that sign. But not only is this day considered highly controversial, but it's actually historically and politically incorrect. And I wrote a blog regarding the interpretation of Australia Day. Now, in this blog, which I will read out, and I will post the link. I wrote, a T-shirt has been printed depicting the establishment of the nation of Australia in 1788. The consequent controversy surrounding the truth about Australia Day is open to debate. However, what needs to be identified as the actual birth of the nation of Australia as we know it today, which was on January the 1st, 1901. Prior to the creation of the Commonwealth of Australia, the separate colonies that made up the loosely associated territories and states of Australia were mutually exclusive from a centralised federal government structure, hence federation. The first European sighting of Australia was earlier than most history books would acknowledge. However, the dolphin chart in 1530 is purportedly the first mapping of Australia by the Portuguese, although it has been confirmed that Australia was discovered by the Portuguese Jantes in 1606 with the sighting of the east coast of Carpentaria. However, the dolphin chart map confirms the modern-day Queensland as part of Java Le Grand. Now, Java Le Grand was 76 years before Jantes' official documented sighting of the Gulf of Carpentaria. The first Englishman to discover Australia was the buccaneer William Dampier in 1686, when, as a teenager crew member on board Captain Swan's Signet, he had sighted New Holland. When William Dampier returned to England, he was given a commission by King William III on board HMS Roebuck to return to New Holland in 1689. After sighting the east coast of Australia, James Cook named Australia, then known in Europe as New Holland by Abel Tasman in 1642, New South Wales. So on April 19th, 1770, on April 29th, 1770, Captain James Cook landed on Botany Bay, Sydney, New South Wales. Meanwhile, New Zealand was named after Zeeland, Holland, by the Dutch explorer Abel Tasman in 1642. However, Captain James Cook would also include New Zealand as part of New South Wales in 1770. The origins of Australia. In 1814, the explorer Matthew Flinders first advised replacing New South Wales with Australia. Australia was officially recognised by Governor Macquarie in 1817. On the epitaph of Governor Lachlan Macquarie, it reads as the father of Australia. The origin of the name Australia is closely associated with Macquarie, Australia, as a name of a country which we now know by that name, was suggested by Matthew Flinders, but first used in an official dispatch by Macquarie in 1817. Thereafter, in 1817, the official government dispatches from the colony of New South Wales were no longer labelled as sourced from the colony of New South Wales, but were to be replaced with Australia. On January 18th, 1788, the first fleet carrying convicts arrived in Botany Bay. On January 26, 1788, the fleet arrived on Sydney Cove and the convicts, passengers and crew would disembark, whereupon Captain Arthur Phillips hoisted the Union Jack, declared the rightful claim on behalf of King George III, the British colony of New South Wales. Meanwhile, the nation of Australia did not exist until 1901, with the ratification of the Australian Written Constitution within Westminster in London, England, becoming an act of the British Parliament and officially recognising the creation of the Commonwealth of Australia and the creation of the Federation of Australia on January the 1st, 1901. What needs to be confirmed is that Australia did not exist in 1788. In fact, the official recognition of Australia was not recognised even during Governor Lachlan Macquarie's autonomous assumption of the title of Australia in 1817. However, Australia was officially recognised as a sovereign nation only as recently as 1901 and not in 1817 during Governor Macquarie's official adoption of Australia, let alone the first arrival of the English, Welsh, Scottish and Irish convicts in 1788, creating a penal colony of New South Wales. So when we celebrate Australia Day on the 26th of January each year, we are not celebrating Australia Day per se. We are in fact celebrating White Australia Day, or at least the official term, the arrival of the white settlement in Australia and the celebration of the creation of white settlement in a colony called New South Wales. So, all things considered official, the Australia Day is a misnomer as we know it, because the Australia Day is in fact January the 1st and not January the 26th. The Aborigines will call it Invasion Day, which is actually accurate. So if you want to be accurate about Australia Day, well, the truth of the matter is this. Australia Day, the creation and the birth of a nation, was not in 1788, it was 1901. We need to make that succinct and clear for all of my detracting friends of myself, my mainstream pet aversion from my mainstream Australian community. I like to emphasize this fact quite clearly and succinctly. So we are going to celebrate White Australia Day on the 26th of January each year. It is not Australia Day, the celebration of a nation. The celebration of a nation is January the 1st, New Year's Day every year. So we need to confirm that. And if anyone says Australia Day is 26th of January, they're not correct. It is 26th of January 1788, New South Wales Day, when Captain Arthur Phillips and the First Fleet hoisted the Union Jack and declared the creation of the colony, or of the penal colony of New South Wales. Australia didn't exist. Alright? Thank you for your time. For my friends and fans out there who like to make me ever so popular, I thought I'd better post that for you. Just for you. Okay? Just for you.